red hot rising.
There we go.
Well, Blazers fans are gearing up for the return of playoff basketball to the Rose City. Live coverage from the Moda Center as the Blazers get ready to host the Spurs tonight. Plus, Oregon's Attorney General is suing the Trump administration over mail-in voting restrictions. Why he's saying Trump's executive order is unconstitutional. And a U.S. Special Forces soldier is facing federal charges, accused of using classified information to bet on the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. Well, we are taking a live look at Moda Center because we are just hours away from the Blazers taking on the Spurs in their first home playoff game in 5 years. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Blair Best. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from the Moda Center. And Thomas, you were inside the Moda Center all morning, and it sounds like preparations are well underway for tonight's game.
Oh yeah, that's right, Blair. All morning long, we've seen crews inside hustling and bustling. In the past few minutes, outside too. Let's show you some of the work they're doing right here on the concourse, putting up these beautiful flags, and you can see those posters covering what will become some fire a little bit later tonight as we get closer to tip-off for the first playoff game for the Blazers here at home in 5 years. And this is a big one. Blazers and Spurs are all tied up at 1 game apiece. Now the Spurs tonight could be without their best player, Victor Wembanyama, one of the best in the league. That means Rip City has a chance to take a pivotal Game 3 and with it, the series lead. This is going to be a sold-out crowd too. Only standing room tickets are left here at the Moda Center. Blazers radio play-by-play announcer Travis Demers tells us a big-time crowd could play a big-time role in this matchup.
Blazers are essentially playing with house money, so to speak, right? And now you've already won a game on the road. You come back here, you take a 2-1 series lead. You've got to win 2 out of 4. They've got to win 3 out of 4 with 2 of those games on the road now, and that puts you in a great position to win this series.
Yeah, so could be a lot here in store, a lot on the line here for the Blazers. Now Demers expects tens of thousands of people and fans here to juice up the team. And for many of these guys, many of the players, tonight is their first home playoff game of their careers. And to help set the atmosphere, the Blazers will be amping up the crowd pregame. Blair, right out here along the concourse, there's going to be music, there's going to be prizes, and get this, even a drum line, amping up that crowd so they can bring that energy inside the building and maybe, just maybe, help the Blazers take a 2-1 series lead tonight. Blair.
Okay, Thomas, we can feel the excitement. Thanks so much. And hey, with the series tied at 1-1, the Blazers are hoping to take the lead over the Spurs tonight. And there's one question that could decide their fate. Will Victor Wembanyama be playing tonight? During Game 2 in San Antonio, Wemby hit his head on the court. Now he's in NBA's concussion protocol. And even though it's up in the air whether Wemby will play, the Blazers are preparing like he will. That's because the Spurs won 2 out of 3 games against the Blazers during the regular season without him. And even during Tuesday's playoff game, the Spurs were still up 14 in the fourth quarter without him.
We hope he plays. We hope he plays. We hope he's healthy so we can go out there and compete.
Well, we got to be ready for both situations. We know, even though if it doesn't play 1 or 2 games, whatever it is, we're going to face him soon.
I think we understand that we can't get too high. You know, we won 1 game and it's beautiful and it's nice. Nobody expected us to win, so that got out of the way, but we have a long job ahead of us.
And KGW will have you covered all day today with live coverage continuing at 4 from the Rose Quarter. Our David Mulco will be out there with Orlando Sanchez and some other special guests, so be sure to tune in. It's going to be an exciting night. And it'll certainly be a beautiful night for folks heading to the Blazers game. This is a live look at the Moda Center this afternoon. Meteorologist Chris McGinnis is live in the Weather Center with how the day is shaping up.
Show up early, get out and do a little tailgating or something like that, right? Yeah, it's going to be nice. We're done with the rain, west side of the state for sure for the next couple of days. Here's a look at visible satellite imagery over the last little while. Cloud cover melting away here, even in the southern Willamette Valley. East side of the state, we still have some puffy fair weather cumulus clouds, maybe even a few drops of rain out towards the higher terrain of the Blues and the Wallowas. But outside of that, yeah, to Blair's point, a gorgeous finish to the work week. Check out the tippy top of Mountain Hood there, snow capped here from our Oregon's Veterans Home in the Dalles camera. The breeze not nearly as gusty. In fact, the wind has shifted directions in the East Gorge. It's out of the east-southeast now at about 6 miles an hour. There's a light breeze as well across parts of the Willamette Valley. Another look at the mountain off in the distance from the springs at the waterfront in Vancouver. Beautiful shot here. In fact, hardly a cloud in the sky. Are there any clouds there? None. 62 last check at Vancouver. It is 59 degrees now in downtown Portland and 60 at the airport. Happy Valley checking in with 57. A little cooler for the east side, upper 40s out towards Baker City, John Day, and Burns. Right now, you'll be inching into the mid-50s for highs this afternoon. All right, the plan for the remainder of Friday. Did I mention it's Friday? It's going to be sunny. We've got high temperatures inching into the upper 60s, and we'll probably keep it in that ballpark temperature-wise for the next couple of days. We'll get a look ahead to your weekend and the final days of April in my 7-day forecast. That's next.
Okay, Chris, looking beautiful. Well, new at noon, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield is asking a federal judge to block a Trump administration executive order that they say would restrict mail-in voting. The order would also create a nationwide list of verified eligible voters and would mandate the Postal Service to only send ballots to the people on that list. Rayfield, alongside 23 other attorneys general, called the legislation unconstitutional, saying, quote, "The U.S. Postal Service delivers the mail. President Trump wants to turn letter carriers into election gatekeepers." A hearing on the motion is scheduled for June. Well, the deaths of a former Milwaukee mayor and his wife are being investigated as a murder-suicide. As police in Southern California say, new evidence, including a note, suggests that Jeremy Ferguson shot his wife, Mandy Zelinka, before taking his own life. Corey Johnson has the details.
Now, police in Los Angeles say Jeremy Ferguson was found dead inside a Venice home alongside his wife, Mandy Zelinka. Officials say that officers responded to a call initially reported as a suicide Tuesday morning. When they arrived, they found Ferguson and Zelinka both dead from gunshot wounds. Investigators say Ferguson left behind a note, and the case is now being examined as a possible murder-suicide. That's according to the Santa Monica Daily Press and the LA Times. Now, he also had strong ties to the Portland area, serving as mayor of Milwaukee from 2009 to 2015 and spending nearly 2 decades working for TriMet. Before his death, Ferguson was the director of operations and placemaking for Downtown Santa Monica Incorporated, a nonprofit focused on economic development. Now, this morning, we received a statement from Zelinka's family saying, in part, quote, "Mandy was passionate about art and photography, which was always woven into her professional pursuits." That statement went on to say Mandy was loved by her friends and family and will be dearly missed. Now, right now, investigators have not released any additional information on what exactly led up to that shooting. Back to you.
Well, a freight train derailment in Salem caused a close call with a semi yesterday afternoon. 3 train cars, including one carrying ethanol, derailed along Cherry Avenue just before 1 o'clock. Officials with Portland Western say there's no sign of a leak and no one was hurt, including the driver of a semi-truck that was swiped. No word yet on the cause, but the road is back open. And this afternoon, new body camera video shows the moment that a 15-year-old got into a fight with a Vancouver police officer. But first, we want to warn you that the video may be hard to watch. Authorities say this started as a disturbance call in downtown Vancouver on April 4th. When officers got there, the teen was reportedly acting aggressively with 2 people, who officers later learned were his mother and stepfather. Now, as the officer tried to take the teen into custody, they say he fought back, and at one point reaching for the officer's gun and tearing several items off his vest. Vancouver police say the officer used a, quote, form of neck restraint to get the teen under control. By Washington law, that kind of restraint can only be used if the officer is protecting his life or someone else's. As a criminal justice professor explained, the response has to be measured.
The officers usually don't know what they're really walking into until they get there. Everyone got to at least, walk away, and now we can look back and see whether actions were appropriate.
The Clark County Sheriff's Office is now investigating that use of force. The suspect, meanwhile, was booked into a juvenile justice center charged with attempted robbery and assault of a law enforcement officer. Well, Nike has announced about 1,400 more layoffs across its global operations. The company says most of the cuts will hit its technology team, with CNBC reporting this will impact less than 2% of its workforce. Nike says it's trying to build a model that will deliver, quote, long-term profitable growth. It's unclear how many local workers could be impacted. Now, this follows several rounds of layoffs in recent years, with the latest being almost 800 employees getting pink slips back in January.